This company used to be a phone book and a yellow pages company. Sounds really old-fashioned, doesn't it? But in a few years, they've changed their business into digital, and now they are most active startup buyer in Finland, and this company is called Fonecta. And already now, 1/4 of their revenue comes from startups that they've bought. So, welcome on stage, Mikko Pirinen of Fonecta.
Fonecta is pretty much known brand in Finland. We have 02, 02, 02 and Yellow Pages and all that quite old-fashioned things. They're extremely well-known brands and they do well. They bring us a lot of money, but the amount of money that they bring is going down. A few years ago, we made a deliberate change that we want to, and we have to be prepared for a situation where that business is gone, and we want to be a bigger company at that time. Fonecta has about 1,000 employees in Finland. We make about 180 million in revenue, and we have 4 different business units where we integrate and partner with startups and more established companies. In the past 11 years, we have made more than 70 acquisitions in Finland. I don't know many companies that have made more. Some recent deals will show you the focus. It has got nothing to do with Yellow Pages or directory assistance services. We acquired Ideakone, which was the only major money-making company in the do-it-yourself webpage market in Finland. It's known under the brand of Kotisivukone. We acquired Snoopy, which is a web analytics company. Earlier this year, we acquired Verkossa Media, a display ad agency. We acquired Aldone, which is an agency making web pages. Earlier this year, we invested in an Oulu-based company called Vuole, which is known under the brand of Savalanche. One other recent example is a company called AdQ, and they are also in the display ads business. But we also partner with startups without making an equity investment. Here are the 4 partnerships we have done this year. We entered into a partnership agreement with Arceo. You may have seen Tuomas Kohila's presentation earlier today, or discussion earlier today. Small startup. We partnered with Coalition Rewards in Latvia from Riga, and that is known in Finland under the brand PINS. And we run and operate the PINS program for SMBs in Finland. We partnered with Transfluent, an excellent translation machine for online services. And there is one company that is not public, but extremely interesting company that we have partnered with. So you may wonder, as a startup, or a more established company, or an investor, or a business angel, or big company, why would you want to partner or deal with Fonecta? Different stakeholders, of course, have a different set of value that we bring. But looking now at the startup perspective, what you get with us, if you are a relevant company to us, and if we are a relevant company to you, you get a perfect combination of financial support and strategic support. As I mentioned earlier, we are a Finnish company, and we operate in Finland. What we bring to the table is 80% of the Finnish population as consumers. They use our services every year. We have more than 50,000 SMEs as our customers that have repeat business from us. And out of the 500 biggest companies in Finland, more than 100 of them are our customers in marketing automation related areas. What we also bring to you is real support in sales and marketing. We bring you, if relevant, we bring our brand and sub-brands that you can exploit in the cooperation that we have. We bring you access to capital, access to international markets, access to knowledge, access to people that you may otherwise find difficult to access. Fonecta, for example, in its own market or own industry, is a worldwide appreciated company which has proven successful in the transformation. There are dozens of companies like Fonecta outside Finland who are looking what Fonecta does And if you are successful with us, the doors are open to dozens of companies like Fonecta outside Finland. You get all the infrastructure that you need, be it technical or office space or whatever, and you get 24 customer service for your customers. One important word that is missing from here, and I wanted to bring it up separately, is the culture that we have. When you come to our offices and when you meet the people, this happened to me in August when I joined Fonecta. It's amazing how can you see an old company be so agile and active. The drive that we have in everyday operations is something that you don't probably expect to see when you come. We have a very result-oriented culture. When there's a challenge, we tackle it and we solve it, and we don't ask the manager, in most cases, how should we solve this, but we just do it. And there is very, very little middle management. There is very little project meetings or anything like that when we're dealing with startups. You get one product owner and one or two technical dudes who you are working with, that's it. And then we execute the deal that we have. One number that I would like you to remember from this presentation is 8. What I mean by 8, it's 8 weeks. There is a culture in our company that no project lasts for more than 8 weeks. That's quite a lot. We work in maximum 8-week sprints in all development, be it technology or business development. I'll give you an example. Unfortunately, I cannot mention the name of the company because it's one of the undisclosed company areas. From the day that we signed the agreement, it took less than 8 weeks that it was commercially available in all our channels, all our media. Sales staff was trained, customer service was trained, technical support was trained, and all the scalability issues were resolved in bringing this service to the market. Often it takes less time than that. So why do we do this? What are we looking for in our activities? Of course, we are looking for growth. I mentioned to you that our legacy business is going down and we want to still grow. So this means that there is a lot of investments that we need to do in figuring out the growth. The clock is ticking. We also need to save time. Dozens of times I have been in a situation talking to startups, knowing that we could do this in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months period ourselves. But if we can have it immediately and the price is right, then we can find a deal. And we prefer to buy something and partner with somebody who already has done that. Of course, we want to have market share in areas where we invest. We want to have economies of scale and also share the R&D risk and manage that. So what this means is that, of course, we cannot develop everything in the world. We'd rather see 100 startups, 200 startups developing new stuff, and the ones that catch momentum, then we are willing to partner at that point of time. The picture above is a prime example of how we adjust to the changes in the market. Believe it or not, a few years ago they had still white papers, so phone books where you could find that Mikko's phone number is this and that and so on. There are some marginal paper books still available, but everything has gone mobile. We partnered with a Swedish company. Now it's known under the name Truecaller. And our ways have separated since, but we brought in a service called Fonecta Caller, which totally destroys and cannibalizes our own business. But we still did that because we knew that somebody else would do it if we would not. Now it's the most used utility mobile application in Finland, with about 150 million searches done on a yearly basis, with 1.5 million downloads. And remember, this is all in Finland, where the population is 5 million. So what areas we are looking for are basically it's utility services for companies or consumers. Often data is in very important role in the companies that we invest in, and often they are somehow related to sales and marketing of our customers. So we want to make our customers sell more. We are looking for technologies and solutions how to keep a better grip of our own customers and also customers, marketing automation, analytics, some buzzwords. And there is always the question mark, because there are often situations that we never thought that this could be a good match for us, but we still have partnered with the company. We want to increase the share of wallet that we get from our customers. So we want our customers to spend more money on us. We want to reduce our own churn, customer churn, and we want to increase the amount of recurring revenue. Here you will see the life cycle, how we see it, of a business. A business launches, then they have to do some sales and marketing, then there is the customer interaction moment, and then there is the service development stage where you want to build your business. And we bring different services for each stage. When you start up your company, you can get your web pages from us. You can do them yourself, or we can do them for you. You can get your domains and emails and hosting through us and through our partners. In the sales and marketing stage, we help you in online advertising. We bring your information to different channels. We help you set up your web store. About 25 to 30% of all web stores in Finland, they are on our platforms or done with our tools. We have loyalty programs. We have email marketing campaign tools, CRM, contact management tools, various services that will help you serve your customers better. And all of this collects information under the hood in our databases of various kinds, and where we can cross-sell more and we can do better targeted marketing for our customers and so on. If you have a product that fits in this roadmap, let's talk. If you have a product or service that helps us do this better, more efficiently, cheaply, let's talk. And this is how I start with every meeting where I go. And so far, since August, I've met about 200 to 300 companies and entrepreneurs. And my job is not to see whether your stuff works with us, but it is to see how it could work with us. And this is the outcome that happens. In many cases, there is a follow-up meeting when I have somehow digested how this could work with us, and then we start working together with the people who actually would run the business together with you. Of course, not always it goes as planned, and many times I say immediately this is not a suitable fit for us. Something that I would like you to also remember here is that we are extremely flexible in the kinds of deals that we do. We invest from our free cash flow. There is no exit pressure. We don't have a plan in most cases that we have to sell your shares or we have to sell the company or whatever in a given period of time. You can be with us forever. We are very open-minded. We can do share issues, we can do loans, we can do convertible bonds. We can assign people from our payroll to work for you, if that makes sense. And basically there is no limitations. If it makes sense for us and for you, we can do it. We also have a Nordic and global reach. Why I separate Nordic and global is that typically, if we're looking for an investment or an acquisition, it's most likely going to be from the Nordic region. However, if it's some other sort of partnership, then we have a global reach. So far, we have negotiated with Israeli companies, Estonian, Latvian, Swedish, Danish, Spanish, UK, and US companies. And for those companies, one of my angles in my pitch is that if you want to be a global superstar and you don't want to focus in Finland, we can take care of the Finnish market for you and be a good reference customer globally also, that you have made it happen in Finland. In this context, there is no upper limit to our investment. Now we're talking with startups. So it can be many millions, even tens of millions, but then it's not a startup anymore. And we can have a stake of from 0 to 100%. And it can be everything now, or it can be tranched, and it can be earnouts, and it can be buybacks, and it can be anything. There is no structural limitation there. And finally, you will find up that in the deal that we negotiate, there are two people who are relevant. In all cases, I'm one of the people. I don't assign this to somebody to take care of it. It's me plus one person. And depending on the case, that person is our CEO, or it is one of the business unit heads who meet you, and within a couple of days, it's either a no-go or then it's a go. And when we go, we go fast. For example, in the case of Vuole, from the time that I heard of that company for the first time and the cash was in the bank, it was 22 days, including, I believe it was 2 or 3 shareholders meeting in that company, several board meetings and so on. Kind of slowing down of the process will not come from our side. In case of Verkossa Media, in February, it was a full acquisition. It was 5 weeks from the first meeting, cash in the bank, and everything was closed. This is what I had prepared, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Mikko. That's inspiring. You know how to buy companies, but you also have lots of experience that is not very common in Finnish big companies. What you do after you buy the company, how to keep this startup alive, how not to hug it to death, how not to kill it by putting it into your processes and things like that. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because that's one of the main fears of startups that are exiting to a corporation, that they're going to be dying there and it's going to end up in disaster.
Yeah. So now I'm quoting the entrepreneurs who have told me after the deal has been signed that they have never seen a big company work in such an active and proactive way. And the reason for that is pretty much the culture. Most of the people who you will be dealing with if you're dealing with Fonecta, they have a startup background, they are less than 75 years old, and there is the culture is to get things done. And there is a culture of no excuses from our side also, is that if there is a task at hand, we then do it. And before we do any deal, there is of course a business plan, which we have done together with the company, and we want to make sure that we go according to the plan. Always it doesn't go, but we are not insane, so if we need to change the plan, we change the plan. And it comes from the kind of total commitment all the way from the owners, board, CEO, business unit heads, and then the middle managers, the few middle managers that we have, and then the product owners who actually will do. They all share the vision and value set of making things done, and we are very proactive in what we do. Result-driven and result-oriented, not process-oriented. Basically, there is a kind of a semi-joke that we are not allowed to use the word process in our internal meetings, for example.
Timo told me in fall that, once you bought a company, that you had one whole floor that you didn't get access to your Fonecta people who were working for you. Like the startup took one floor and nobody else could enter that floor.
I like to think that I want to make the Fonecta border disappear, and we are actively finding ways how to bring startups closer to us and also bigger companies closer to us, so that they can visit us and we can visit them, and you can be inside the company or outside the company for different periods of times. And we want to be very, very flexible, because we know that the old way of doing things, the industrial era, what was seen before, we don't want to have that in our mindset at all.
There's been some studies that 85% of startup acquisition fail. What's your percentage?
I started in August, so far all of my investments have been successful. But I've heard excellent feedback from the companies that we have dealt with, and also from our current owners, or the current business owners, if you will. And for sure from the past I know that there have been failures also, of course. Out of 70 deals you cannot make everything work. Okay,
audience, any questions to Mikko?
Are you looking at acquisition targets outside Finland as well?
Outside the Nordics, the likelihood of us making an investment or a full acquisition is fairly low. So we do believe that we need to be close to the company. So that's unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. However, we do non-ownership related dealings with anybody. Or there is like literally from anywhere. I think I mentioned already some of the countries. And for them, our story is usually that if you are outside the Nordics, then Finland is probably a less important market for you. And hey, let us sell your stuff in Finland.
Okay, and Mikko, you will be available?
Yes, I'll be here after this meeting.
These are the brave guys who come and talk to us.
Yeah.
Big hand.
Thank you.